Hello, people. If you crave something, then it is because you've not stilled the ocean of your mind. There was a great storm, and Jesus lifted up his hands and says, "Peace, be still." And instantly it was like there was never a storm to begin with. This is a metaphor. It means that during the storms of life, we should, when it says put your hands up, it means put all your willpower into it. Your hands are your means to exert yourself. So the metaphor is saying use every ounce of your strength to still the wheels of your mind. Once the wheels of your mind have been stilled, then you can focus within. Center your consciousness at the heart center and radiate love to everyone, especially the souls that misunderstand you. Misunderstanding comes from the dark clouds of the mind. The dark clouds of the mind and other people's minds can befuddle you. But if you focus on the I within your soul, if you focus on the heart center, then you can be free. All pain or suffering comes from the waves of the mind. The ocean of your mind has to be stilled in order to find freedom within the self. This is the purpose of all religions everywhere, finding peace within the self. Although they lose track of their purpose, like going to a huge train station, like Paddington train station, and ordering tickets for lots of different destinations. You'll get completely confused. This is what happens with many religions. The followers have lost sight of the original religion. They're like a person going to a train station and saying can I have 100 tickets for 100 or 1,000 destinations, and then they get completely confused. Whereas if you just focus within yourself, there is no confusion, because where else is God if not the self? The self is in everyone, the higher self. You don't have to take my word for it. Scientists have already identified what God is. God is energy, force, chi, life force, pi. That force which holds everything together is identified as the one within all and the all within one. I can just release it at any moment. I can just release my soul from this body at any moment. After many years of meditation, I can do that easily. That is what peace is. It is releasing your chi. A great saint in India says that there are two ways that the chi can travel. Downwards during sex, which leads to the dark side, or upwards, which leads to God. It's not that sex is bad, it's just that if the consciousness is focused there, then it loses sight of its higher purpose. Consciousness, or chi, can either go into sex or it can be turned upwards. If it is turned upwards, then you will unite with Brahm, the Supreme Being, who is everything and nothing at the same time. Has everything, doesn't want anything. So this is the problem with people on this planet. You all identify with your desires and needs and wants. All of those things keep you in a body. If you could this moment say, I don't want a single thing, then your consciousness would simply dissolve into God. Your consciousness would simply go upwards into God. Your physical body would still be alive. You don't have to die to unite with God. All you have to do is unlock the 7 chakras within your soul, within your spine, the wand of God, or the staff of God, or the sword that Arthur pulled out of the stone. What that means is release your chakras. When they said that Arthur pulled the sword from the stone, that is a metaphor for meditation. What that is saying is that he pulled the sword from the stone, then he became king. But this is a spiritual kingdom. Not hardly anyone gets that. It's a very, very, very deep metaphor by a very, very great mystic called Merlin. But what it was that once he pulled the sword from the stone, he was releasing the chi within himself. And by releasing the chi within himself, he became king of himself or master of himself. A master is someone that can dissolve their breath and life force at any moment and unite it with the original source, the original power. That is what a true mystic is. Not a fortune teller, but a true mystic. Even a true fortune teller would recognise such a being. Even a true fortune teller would recognise such a being. Because there is only one force called intuition. There is only one power. It is the eye within the forehead. The eye there, within the Ajna chakra. If the life force is focused there, then one becomes one with the Christ within themselves. They become one with God within themselves. On the surface, they might appear to have many desires and many weaknesses, but gradually over time, due to meditation, all those weaknesses, all those desires will be dissolved. In Revelations it says he made the sea like a plate of glass. There were no waves. This is another metaphor. It's saying that the mind has to be stilled in order to become one. In order to get true wisdom, the mind has to be stilled. Okay, I've waffled on enough now. I should go back to my meditation.